Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on my very first long drive in the Renault 5 EV. I'm going from Manchester down to Oxford. I've got work in the morning. This is a bank holiday Monday. And I've stopped at Castles and Waters, which is near Derby. Very, very nice place. Quite busy this time of year. There's lots of dog walkers and families and everything. And I've just had a reasonably good lunch in the cafe there. Then I'm off to the Gaydon Museum. It may not be open, but I might actually stop there and just sort of take the Renault 5 to the British Motor Museum and just to stop there. And then on down to Oxford, my first charge away from home, so it'll be interesting to see what's going, how quickly it actually charges. I might head off to the cinema tonight, and then tomorrow morning I've got work. Luckily the hotel I'm staying in is actually just around the corner from work. And then back up to Manchester tomorrow evening. So yeah, it's going to be sort of a sort of first for me and the first for the car. So the first long journey for the car and then the first long EV journey for me. And the new stickers for the channel have just come in. This is the new ones. I may be getting a batch of them and I might be selling them on. I'm not entirely sure. But if you see my any of my cars sporting this, come say hello. Yeah. We've got one on the back and one on each side. So yeah, right, let's crack on down to the British Motor Museum. So again, we're at Castles and Waters. This is about 40 miles away, and the car started out with 200-mile range on 100%, and we're now down to 82. So we've done about 45-ish miles from my home, which isn't too bad. So yeah, I'm just going to basically dial into the, yeah, oh yeah, 38 miles, there we go, yeah, 38 miles, we've got 82 to the British Motor Museum. So I finally got to the British Motor Museum here at Gaydon. It's quite windy, and there is quite a lot going on. There's a lot of cars here, so yeah, it's just very, very, very windy. So yeah, car's been absolutely great. I'm on 48%, something like that. So yeah, it's not doing too badly. Okay, so I've arrived in Oxford, just at a charging place. It's a Shell one, Shell recharge place, and it's yeah, it's charging. So 48 miles left, 19%. I think I've done about 200 miles, about 195, 200. I need to double check. 75 kilowatt. I've used the what's the name of the thing? Hang on. I've used my Mobilised card, so hopefully I'll get a slightly cheaper rate. Yeah, so that's actually zipping along nicely. So it was a really nice drive. Actually was some parts boring, some parts fun. Oh, there we go. It's decided to switch off now. Okay. Right, let it charge. Pretty basic charger, but it does seem to be doing quite well. 80 kilowatt, yeah, not bad, not bad. So we've gone from 19% to 80% in pretty much 10 to 12 minutes. I think it's 12 minutes actually. That's pretty good. That is actually fairly quick, and it's not an inconvenience at all. Okay, it's faster at filling up, but actually not by much once you've walked in and paid for it and all sorts. So yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to put some more charge in it later on this evening. I'm going to go off to a pub and grab a drink, and then come back and finish the charge. Well, I stopped off at a local pub near my office, not too far away from it. It's called the Farmer's Dog. There it is. It's a very, very lovely little pub. It really is. And then we have a little tent just there, which is, I believe it's called Diddley Squat Farm. If you know, you know. Yeah. So I've just had a pint and some food. The food is expensive, very, very nice, but very, very expensive. Definitely worth coming. definitely worth coming. The car park's a bit full. It's full of bikes and cars. Yeah, more of a clue. So yeah, I'm just going to head back to the hotel. I've got some work to do. I've got a few bits and pieces before my day of work in the office. Okay, so I've just finished a day's work. I'm just leaving Oxford right now. We'll be charging up somewhere. I might have to get a bit more charge. I've only got 180 miles and 160 to 170 back. Going to be in traffic, so M40 toll road and up the M6. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. Okay, so I'm at Stafford Services, and I am not going to make it with the charge I've got. So it's minus 5%. So I've got 30% left in the battery and 67 miles. And I think it's 59 or something like that. So yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to... I'm just going to give it a top-up charge while I go and get some dinner. But yeah, that's really interesting. I said it had 200 miles. Yeah, 52 miles. And 66%. It's just gone down 1%. So yeah, I'm just going to go and get some dinner, put this on charge, and see what happens. Okay, so I charged this up to 90%. And it had 200 miles from Stafford to my house is 40 miles. So yeah, it lost an extra 20 miles of range just in that. I don't know whether this is right or not, but I'm not feeling the love for this. I'm not feeling the love for this at all. That thing over there, that silver car, can do, I think it's 50 quid's worth of fuel, and I can do there and back. I've just totaled it up. So the 3 charges I charged for 3 times. When I got down there, and it cost me £29. Then I went out to get some dinner and came back, and I charged an extra £9. Which got me back up to 200 miles. And then at Stafford Services, I then charged it back up to 200 miles range. And trust me, I'm bored out of my tears when driving this car, because I'm doing it at 60 miles an hour on a motorway, on cruise control, completely disconnected from the car, and all the controls. It's even doing the steering itself. So I'm really not happy. This is not a good experience to me. This doesn't feel reliable. It's 1 minute it's actually doing really well. The next minute it's quite bad. I need reliability. When I want to get somewhere, I want to get somewhere. I don't want to spend my time hunting down the cheapest charger or hunting down deals or whatever. I just want to be able to get in and go. So maybe EVs are not the right car for me. I don't know. I don't do that many miles, but when I do, I tend to do a couple of 100 miles, and that's what I wanted the car to do. It's a couple of 100 miles. 200 miles, on a bad day, 250, maybe it's my expectations, I don't know. But yeah, not happy. So I'm back home after my first journey in an EV, long journey, and I'm pretty disappointed with the range. It was, and also the charging networks and the cost. It was pretty expensive. All in all, it ended up costing me 70 quid to charge at 3 times. The first time was for £30 to top it up to still not 100%. It was about 90%. And then I had another £10 top up after I went for dinner that night. And then the next day I had to then top up at Stafford Services. So going down there was absolutely fine. It was 200 miles, and I still had 45 miles left. But going back was painful. So I left Oxford, and I got to Stafford Services, and I left Oxford with 90% on the state of charge, and I got to Stafford Services after doing 115 miles, and the car was on 30% charge. And I'd been sticking on eco mode. I'd had it on cruise control at 60. No aircon, no HVAC system running at all, and it was dropping like a stone. It was really, really hard. Now, again, I was getting quite frustrated, especially when it says, "Oh, you're not going to make it." So I plugged it in, went and got some food, and came back to a 90% charge and a £30 bill. That's the issue, 70 quid just to get home. It just doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. So, yeah, I posted on a couple of Renault groups, and I just got gaslit like crazy. It was silly. It's like people you're dissing their car. Well, actually, it's bullshit and wankery which goes on. This is expensive to run compared to a petrol engine car. It really is. If you want to go somewhere and you want to charge up, it is an absolute fortune. And yes, you can go around all of these different schemes and stuff like that. But when you want to get somewhere and just go somewhere, and you're in the middle of nowhere, like in Oxford where I was, actually, the fast chargers, there was no decent fast charger unless I drove 5 miles and then walked back to the hotel. It just didn't work. So I'm going to use the ICE cars, I'm going to use the petrol cars. But why am I spending £30,000 on a garden ornament that can't do 150 miles? Or it can do it, but you've got to spend 70 quid. This isn't working. This isn't working out. I don't know where people are in their heads, but this isn't working out. So yeah, maybe it's not the car for me. I don't do that journey very often. Once a month. Yeah, most of the time I'm pottering around town. But it's the fact that when I do go, the bloody thing can't do 150 miles without costing a load of money. No. Yeah, my little, that thing here, that one there, that can do 150 miles on just over a quarter of a tank and cost me, 18 quid? That did 153 miles, and that cost me 70 quid. It just doesn't work out. In my head, it absolutely does not work out. And I've had somebody say, "Oh, well, you bought a little town car." That's not true. That basically supposed to have a range of 250. And if it got 75% of its range, it would still do 180, with leaving me with 20 or 30 miles to spare, which is what I assumed it would be. No, it's less than 75%. I just don't get it. I just don't get this, what's going on. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure whether I want to keep this. It's a cool car. It's a great car. But the bubble's got to burst a little bit here, because I've come down. It shocked me how expensive it is to run one of these things. If you're connected up to that little charger there at 7p a kilowatt, it makes perfect sense. But if you want to do even a small journey of 150 miles isn't very far. If I bought a Honda E and I was complaining about this, I'm in the wrong. But that thing basically didn't get me home without actually having to be recharged again after having a 90% charge. This doesn't work. And you can go all through the numbers and stuff like that, but I don't feel love for this car anymore. I just don't. I just don't. I cannot justify spending, is it £350 a month for that thing sitting there, which can't do a 150-mile journey. And when it does, it costs me an extra, what, 20 quid? Actually, no, it's more than that, actually. Hang on. Yeah, that thing can do, put £50 into that, and I can do there and back to Oxford. That thing needs £35–40 easy. Yeah, no, it just doesn't work. So yeah, I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Oh, and also I've had problems with this car. I've had bits of trim fall off. I've had clips come out. I've had the central screen flicker on and off at least 3 times now. Oh. Yeah, I think they rush these things out. I really do think they rushed them out a little bit too quickly. Oh, and yes, it actually stopped and actually wouldn't let me go anywhere. It got stuck. So I couldn't get, literally, it took like 10 reboots of the car to basically get it out. It wouldn't let me into drive at all, or reverse. And it got stuck in neutral. Nah. So I'm tempted to actually trade it in right now. I've only had it a week and a half. And I want to trade it in. I'm not happy with it. I'm really shocked, even at myself, thinking this. Because I lusted after this as soon as it came out. But the realities are, it's bloody expensive, and it's not screwed together that well. So anyway, that's my thoughts on my first journey with an EV. Other manufacturers, it might vary. Again, I don't do long journeys very often, but when I do, I want it to actually be all right, you know? I don't want to have to spend 2 days before planning my route. Yeah. So, right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.